So I thought I would kind of finish up by talking about a few of those things, because this is directly what I've been working on for my doctoral research. And very specifically, actually, is the question of hunting. Because again, these are hunter-gatherers, right? Like hunting is very central to their existence. And you know, there are sites like this is from Neo in France, for instance, where they, you know, they've got this classified as a wounded bison, and as you can see, there's two things sticking out of the side of it, which are often sort of referred to as a penniform or a ramiform. Like they've got these kind of Latin names for them, and they're being a little bit more neutral. But I mean, if you look at it, it really does look like it's a spear or something sticking out of the side of a bison. And certainly people in the past have questioned that. They've studied it. There's been a few studies. So the Deluxe have studied it, looking at sort of, you know, blood and death and like all that kind of thing, and looking for sort of examples of like bleeding wounds and things like that. We also have G and Oulette who've done stuff, and Dominique Baffier. So there's definitely some studies have been done. People have noticed it and sort of said, you know, hey, is this a thing? What's interesting though is that it's only 2 to 3% of animals have some sort of thing sticking out of them or on the side of them, right? And so in that sense, when they've looked at it, it's, you know, it's a thing, but it's not like a major theme in that sense. How's that? So I think that's kind of where it was sitting at when I decided to flip the question around, because of course, what I've been doing for my research is compiling this database, which is geometric sign focused. And so what I did instead was I asked the question in reverse, which was, at sites where we have penniforms, how often do they appear on the sides of animals or humans or in like close association with them? And so here's the fun part. So this is like the first time I've ever really talked about this. I'm going to be defending it later this term, but so here you go. This is like the world premiere. So back to the question. So how often do penniforms appear on the sides of animals or humans at caves where they're present? And the answer is it's 90% of the time. Yes, I know, it's so statistically significant. So, you know, for all the academics, it's like, yeah, no, the numbers are amazing. It was so exciting to run those numbers and get such positive results. So, you know, that's the thing, is that basically if penniforms are in caves, they're almost always on the side of animals. And on the very rare occasions when they're not, you know, again, maybe that can help us understand better what those might be when they're not in the context, right? And so what's so fun though is not only just the statistical analysis of looking at it that way, but then also going to the archaeology and realizing that, so penniforms are a sign that's actually invented later. They don't exist at the time that humans come into Europe. We don't see them in the early art. The oldest example I was able to find was sort of more in like what's called the Gravettian period, so 28,000 kind of thing. What's fascinating is around then, they invented a new type of harpoon weapon, which actually looks like that in the real world. And even the section of France where we first start finding them is the same area where they start making this new innovative tool. And so, you know, so you can imagine I got really excited to sort of see that. And so I think there's some really interesting support in this particular case. I think you could make the argument that penniforms probably represent weaponry.